I'm Keely Eure here with USC quarterback Kedon Slovis. Kedon, it's your first Pac-12 Media Day. How's it going so far?
Good, very busy, but it's good to be here. It's exciting to meet other guys from other schools, and it's been a good time.
You're with your wide receiver Drake London. I know he's more of a shy guy. Are you kind of pulling the weight today?
Yeah, he's done a good job. I know at first he's probably not super comfortable doing interviews, but he's worked really hard at doing it, and I think you'll see him grow throughout the day.
This has been your first real comfortable off season, a normal off season, if you will. What's that been like for you?
It's been nice. I think there's a lot of stuff I want to work on personally as a player, stuff I want to do with the team. Just being in the locker room more, having a full off season, and really as a starter, I haven't really had a full off season. So it's been great. I think really like where we're at as a team, where we've grown, from a culture standpoint, from, bringing the new guys, from getting reps with the new guys and transfers. Just all that stuff that we missed last year. It's been great.
That's what I was going to ask you. You, as a starter, you haven't had a real offseason to get the guys together. What's that like now that you have a full offseason to do that?
Yeah, it's great. And I remember last year we were talking about it with someone else, looking for places to throw with COVID, and now it's so convenient we can just go on our practice field. So it definitely lets you have a bit of a better appreciation for, having, I guess, more things open and available to you, but it's been great, and the guys have been great. They've been willing to work, especially the new guys and all the transfers. I think we have a really good group of guys this year, and just excited to see it all come together.
Now that you've had time away from it, what is your evaluation of year two?
Yeah, looking back, it's crazy to think that we won as many games as we did, honestly, because personally I think, man, I didn't play my best. I didn't throw the ball accurately, wasn't playing consistently. And with that being said, we still made it to the Pac-12 championship. And obviously, we didn't win the games as big a margins as we did, but I think that shows what we could be as a team. And I think going forward, again, that's kind of my thing I've been saying all the time is we have the talent to be really special and really great, but we have to play consistently. We have to do it game in and game out, week in, week out. Because if we do, we're going to be really special. But again, you can do it one week and not do the next, and you just have an average team at that point.
Were you able to pinpoint exactly why you weren't at your best last season?
Yeah, I think the main thing was just confidence, and when I say confidence, I don't think it really means me being mentally confident. I think it's more so, when you come back from injury, you want to be at a point where you're playing as if it never happened, right? I don't think I ever got to that point, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think I was throwing the ball the way that I know how to throw the ball. I was kind of saying to the quarterback coach I work with, when I was telling them about my issues I was having, never had an issue throwing accurately. I've never had an issue, putting the ball where I want it to. I've had issues, maybe making bad decisions or, I don't know, doing other things. But I've never had an issue throwing the ball where I want it to go. And then all of a sudden last year, I'm out there and I'm not able to put the ball where I want it. And I think that was the biggest thing frustrating for me. And that's one of those things I worked on the offseason, just trying to get back to that point. And you have to take the next step of just fighting through it and just saying, hey, I know this happened. I know you're injured. I know you hurt an elbow or a shoulder, but it's healthy now. You got to just play like it never happened.
Are you comfortable with the work you did this offseason and where you are heading into the season?
Yeah, and it didn't happen overnight. I think really in the second half of spring ball, after the spring game, I kind of told myself hey, you still have more room to grow. You still can put more on your ball. You can put more velocity on it, and you can't be scared of putting more on it or hurting your arm. You have to get past that. So I think it really started happening in the second half of the spring ball, and I think that's really as an offense where we started to play much better as a whole. We had play series where we're scoring every time we get the ball, and that's kind of the expectation. And then off season and the summer, that's kind of just building on that, and I think that's really now I feel like I'm in a place where I feel very comfortable. But again, you still have to prove it once the season comes.
If you look at your first year, you were the backup quarterback filling in for JT Daniels. You were kind of playing with house money. Did that affect your mindset where you were able to play, I guess, more freely in year one?
Maybe. I never really thought about it like that. But I guess so. You're playing with, I guess you kind of say that definitely is a factor. But at the same time, you can't play football that way. You can't think that way. If you think that you're playing with something to lose, then, you're probably going to play very complacent. And, maybe it did have a factor. I haven't really thought about it that much. But at the end of the day, you want to be the guy and you kind of want to be in that position.
You talked about the new additions to the wide receiver room. What are you looking at this year as far as talent goes?
Lots of talent, and it's exciting because I think for USC fans at least, these are guys that you probably haven't seen much of or are new, and I'm excited to see how it all fits together. I look back, we have 6 or 7, 8 guys that are legit contributors, especially some of the transfers. I'll just highlight them. Taj has come in and really impressed me, really impressive. And even though he's not the biggest guy in the world, he plays so physically, and he's going to get the ball. And man, I just love the way he plays. He attacks every rep and every day in the weight room and on the field so well. Malcolm Epps is a freak of nature. They don't build him like that. He's probably 6'6" and probably runs a 4.5, and he's electric, and he's got great hands too. So excited to see him. And you saw Keontae in the spring. We have a few more guys coming into later in the summer, like came in recently. So again, just excited to see how it all meshes together this fall.
You mentioned a guy like Malcolm Epps. He just looks like he has weapon written all over it. Does he change what you can do with the tight end position?
Definitely, and I think that's something too. It kind of changes what you can do lineup wise with guys around him. Allows you to move Drake around, allows you to have a big lineup, or allows you to kind of just have so much flexibility with him. So I think that's a huge thing we've been missing, but I'm excited to see how it works.
There were a lot of expectations around year 2 of Graham Harrell's offense. What are you expecting for year 3?
Again, there's a lot of expectations, but I think everyone's kind of seen what this offense can do in spurts. And again, it's just a matter of executing consistently. We play Washington State. We had 5 touchdowns in the first half. But then in the second half, we kind of take the gas pedal off. And same thing with ASU. Year 1, we put up 4 touchdowns at the quarter, then we kind of lighten up. So I think, not saying you're going to see that all the time. It's pretty crazy to put up that many touchdowns in a short amount of time, but that's kind of the expectation of having that explosive offense, game in, game out.
You recently signed with Clutch Sports. What's the process been like for you with NIL?
Yeah, it's been a lot. They, I think they do a great job of what they do with their athletes. They talk about empowering the athlete, and they've always acted in the best interest of their athletes. Hearing from guys they've worked with, they've done a great job, and I'm excited to work with them in the future. And the biggest thing for them too is they're not expecting me to, do more. They're expecting me to go out and produce on the field, and that's, primary objective number 1. Less is more to them, and I don't want that to ever become a distraction football. My job is to, be quarterback at USC and do that job well, and everything that comes out is kind of a bonus.
Well, speaking of producing on the field, year 3 is a big year for quarterbacks. What are you expecting in 2021?
Hopefully big things. Obviously, I think we have lots of talent and a great team around me. It's just a matter of putting it all together. Like I said, we have, again, all the talent in the world, and USC always does, but that's a matter of, putting it together and having a great culture and having a consistent culture that can play consistently. If that happens, you're going to see great things, right? But it's a lot easier said than done, and we're working to build it every day, but I feel really good at where we're at.
All right, well, good luck this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
With Kedon Slovis, I'm Keely Eure. For more, check out uscfootball.com.